So it is day 3 of our summer 2022 road trip, and we are outside Great Sand Dunes National Park. We drove from Georgia to Alabama to Mississippi to Tennessee to Arkansas to Oklahoma to Texas to New Mexico to Colorado, and we did that in 3 days. It was about 1,400 to 1,500 miles of driving. We have spent 2 nights on the road already. We spent 1 night at a really quiet campsite in Alabama where it was raining, so there was basically nobody there except for the camp host. And then we spent a night at Canton Lake in Oklahoma last night. We're outside the park now so that Kelly can shoot some time lapses and photographs of all the different layers. You probably can't quite see behind me, but the dunes are the tan blob, and then there's the mountains. And you can see that because it's early summer, they're still covered in snow. So we're pretty jazzed about that. This is the 3rd time we've been to this park, and every other time we've been here has been a lot later in the summer. And almost all the snow has been melted off of the peaks. So tomorrow we are backpacking around the dunes. So we're kind of go like wide around the dunes and at the foothills of the mountains. We have a 17-ish mile day, and then about 13 to 15 the last day to get back to our car. Good morning. It is day 4 of our trip and our 2nd day in Great Sand Dunes National Park. We slept really well last night. Super comfortable weather. Just really pretty much perfect. And this morning we have finished packing our bags and set off on the sand ramp trail, which skirts the mountains and the sand dunes in the park. So we're sort of walking on like old dunes or just barely dunes. It's pretty firm, which feels good. And I think we're pretty excited to be here, Kelly. Oh, you know what? I did this whole thing. Okay, never mind. I thought my mic wasn't turned on, but it is. And the scenery is just really terrific. So I'm going to turn this around and give you a chance to see what we're doing. So you can see that we have snow-capped mountains in the distance, and then over on our left are all of the dunes just stretching out. From where we were last night, they were really far away, but now we are really close to them, and you can really tell how big they are when you see them. You can also maybe see that creek running along the base of the dunes. That's called the Little Medano Creek, and it's a really popular place for people to come and hang out this time of year because the water is really shallow but also flowing, and so it's kind of like a beach area, and people bring their kids and dogs and everyone just hangs out. Whew. Well, it's approaching about 11 o'clock here and feels like we have been hiking way longer than we have. The scenery's been really pretty. We've still been able to see mountains the whole time. And as you can see now, we are into the dunes, which we were not expecting. We thought we would completely skirt them, but we are officially hiking in the back skirts of the dunes. It's really pretty to see everything, but it's super sunny, and that is making everything really hot. So we are taking advantage of shade wherever we can find it and hoping we can find some soon so we can sit and eat our lunch. So we have been hiking in sand pretty much all day long. Wasn't expecting that quite as much as we've had to do it. And Kelly is basically a sand magnet. So this is what, the 3rd time that you've dumped your shoes out?
At least, maybe 4.
So let's have a look at what it looks like for Kelly to dump his shoes out. It's only been a couple miles since the last time you did this.
It's bad.
I don't understand how it's getting in there. Yes, so Kelly is a sand magnet, and we are hiking near this. All of the sand dunes everywhere. been a day. We are in the middle of the dunes. We bushwhacked the last mile and a half of our hike because the trail completely disappeared. And we got to where the campsite was supposed to be. We found the river that was supposed to be by the campsite.
And a lot of scientific equipment about river levels.
And no campsite.
But
and
no
we
campsite.
looked and we looked and we looked. And there's no fire pit. There's no bear box. There was no sign. There was no evidence of trail, really.
And it was creepy as anything.
It was so creepy. So, we are actually in the dunes now. We decided kind of early in the day today that we thought we would camp at our campsite, and then the next day, tomorrow, we would make a straight line across the dunes, which we knew would be really tough climbing, but honestly what we did today was so tough that it kind of seemed like a different tough would be better. But that campground area, or non-campground area, was so creepy that we wanted to really just get out of there. So we let the sun cool down a little bit, and we've been kind of meandering on a straight line toward where our car is parked through the dunes. We found a kind of quiet bowl where we're going to set up our tent.
And pass out.
And and eat a brownie, because today we finished hiking all of the maintained trails in Great Sand Dunes National Park.
We did finish.
And we hiked some of the unmaintained ones as well. So this is our 10th park that we are completely done with, and it should feel really good. It doesn't really feel real because we're still stuck in the middle of
The dunes.
the dunes in the backcountry, and we don't exactly know where we are.
We know where we are. We have a map.
Yeah. And we know how to read it
We have 5.5 miles to go in the morning.
and that's a straight line.
And that'll
So
be straight line 5.5 miles. So it'll probably be more like 8 miles after
7.5
we're done
maybe.
meandering around all the cliffs and
stuff. But we're
And
hoping
stuff,
we'll have cool weather in the morning. And so we're going to get up real early and pack up right with dawn, and then
head out.
head out and get some pie. And maybe then it'll feel real.
Yeah.
All right. You ready to set this tent up?
Good. Yeah.
Okay. Yep, that's how we feel. Yeah, so we hiked this morning. We left our tent really early, 5:30 this morning. We were on the trail, aka on the dunes, and we had a really beautiful sunrise. The hiking was hard, like I said, and we were really tired because we had hiked about 19 miles yesterday, 18, 19 miles, and today, like I said, we did 7. So it was a pretty big backpacking trip. We were crossing those dunes with our full packs on. But we got started early so that we could try to beat any of the heat that was going to come in with the sun. And it did get warmer, but the biggest thing that came in today is wind. And so by the time we were done, we were just getting like pelted with sand. And it was really good to crest over the final dune and see our car and realize that, 1, we had not gotten lost, and 2, had not been made a stupid decision to trek across the dunes, because we were feeling a little like maybe we shouldn't have chosen this route. But we're here. We've now had some breakfast at a restaurant outside the park. And we had pie for dessert. And I think that's it. Later on today, we're going to check into a hotel. We have a ton of work to get done. Kelly especially has a bunch of freelance work that he wasn't expecting to have. And so we're going to take a lot of showers and enjoy sleeping in a bed instead of a tent tonight. And then we'll be back on the road tomorrow.
About?
I was talking about our hike. I'm now recording again. That's the face he makes every time you look at him, just for the record.